How does a highly educated mind, a person with a graduate degree and global professional success, willingly pass along obvious falsehoods without a single question? Does this mean that an advanced education does not protect us from basic manipulation? Or does it mean that a highly trained intellect is simply better at building complex justifications for its own biases? Consider the deep contradiction of a life sustained by the collective community. A career built on public pensions, taxpayer-funded disability benefits, and charitable foundations. Yet this same individual fiercely attacks collective societal protections like public health measures. Does this mean the human brain is capable of building a total cognitive firewall? Does it mean it can view its own public benefits as a hard-earned right, while viewing the exact same support for others as unearned weakness? Think of the distinction made in the story of Jack Reacher, the difference between raw intelligence and a routine practiced 4,000 times. Under pressure, a smart person tries to think. A conditioned person does not think at all. They execute a reflex. Does this mean that when a tribal identity is triggered, critical thinking completely dies? Does it mean the brain simply fires a hardwired social signal, prioritizing belonging over objective reality? The conditioning runs even deeper. Imagine witnessing a citizen held flat on the ground by multiple officers, only to watch another officer unload an entire magazine into them. And instead of shock, the reaction is to endorse, defend, misdirect, and deflect. Does this mean the prefrontal cortex can be so fundamentally reshaped by tactical survival that external empathy is permanently blunted? Does it mean that defending the tribe at any cost becomes the absolute foundation of a person's entire identity? When an individual is trapped in a loop, this rigid logic and facts lose all transactional value. Therapy becomes a tool to patch up the cracks in the ego, rather than a search for truth. Does this mean that once the brain is wired this deeply, it becomes entirely immune to self-awareness? Does it mean that nothing short of massive, unavoidable personal trauma can ever force the ego to look in the mirror? The question remains, when intelligence is weaponized to protect identity, who is actually in control, the mind or the tribe?